The cinema opens in Los Angeles. Former Marine and Afghanistan veteran William Sharp is urgently in need of $231,000 for his wife Amy's experimental cancer surgery. He trying to get on the line with medical insurance agents. He gets no help at all, leaving him with few options left. They also have a baby to look after. In another place in the city, paramedic Cam Thompson reaches with her new partner Scott at the scene of a car crash, where a little girl named Lindsay has been spiked by a fence post. Cam helps Lindsay calm down as they cut the fence down to free her. William Sharp goes off telling to be heading for a job interview, but he is actually meeting his adoptive brother Daniel Sharp, who is a notorious bank robber. William Sharp meets Daniel at his workplace where he has multiple stolen cars with his team. Daniel knows that William needs $231,000 for his wife's experimental cancer surgery and talks him into taking part in a $32 million bank heist. William Sharp at first hesitant, then agrees after Daniel reaffirms that he is doing this for Amy. Later, Cam and Scott go for lunch, where Scott informs her that Lindsay is gone pull-through, but Cam says she doesn't care because she just goes about her job like any other without forming any attachments. Scott points out that he has heard of Cam's reputation. While she is the best medic in the city, nobody else wants to work with her. William Sharp joins Daniel and his goons as they arrive at the bank. Meanwhile, two officers, Zach and Mark, drive over to the bank because Zach has a crush on one of the tellers and wants to ask her out. Mark tells him to go along with it. Once he gets in there, Daniel and the others have already begun to hold the other employees at gunpoint. He is unable to stop Zach from going in by saying he wants to open an account. Zach asks Daniel, who is playing to be the bank manager, the teller's name, and he gives him a fake one. When Zach gets to the window to talk to her, he sees her actual name before understanding something is bad. Daniel quickly takes his gun out and has his guys draw theirs and force Zach to play it cool so that they can get what they want and flee. Outside the bank, Mark helps one of the crew members with his truck after it breakdowns, unaware of his true intentions. Once the crew's cover is blown, the criminal tries to run Mark over but he jumps out of the way in time. As William and Daniel start walking out with Zach as a hostage, a gunfight ensues between the other crew members and police. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel, like and share this video and hit your comments. Daniel's guys are all killed. Zach attempts to escape and during a wrestle between him and Daniel, he is accidentally shot by William. They start to run out and leave Zach there, but Mark be able to find him. Cam and Scott are called in to help, but after they bring Zach out, Daniel forces Scott to get out and has William take his uniform so that they can steal the ambulance. Daniel hops in the back and forces Cam at gunpoint to do what he says. They start to drive away and are blocked off by a squad of cop cars, but Cam is able to send them away after they find that Zach is being treated in there. Other officers find Scott unconscious and recognize William and Daniel hijacked the ambulance. This brings in other law enforcement officials, like Special Investigations Section Captain Monroe, to show up and figure out how to stop them. William stops the ambulance in a backstreet as they understand that police choppers are now looking for them. Cam makes an attempt to flee, but Daniel catches her and forces her back to the ambulance. They also bring in an FBI agent, Anson Clark, who is in charge of a division specializing in bank robberies. He tells Monroe that he knows Daniel is behind the robbery, and he even has a personal history with Daniel and knows that his criminal father led him into that life. Monroe urges the other agents and officers to exercise caution in stopping the ambulance since Zach is in there. Daniel contacts another criminal, Castro, to prepare for their arrival in Boyle Heights. Daniel also speaks to crime boss Poppy, who worked with his dad. The gangsters in the area begin prepping a car strapped with a machine gun. Cam continues to try and keep Zach steady and forces Daniel to help with the defibrillator. When Zach starts bleeding out, Cam efforts to stop the bleeding but doesn't know how since she's not a doctor. She contacts an ex-boyfriend, Colin, who is a doctor and contacts two other surgeons and put her on video chat to guide her through it, as she now gets help from William. They are forced to dig through Zach's stomach and try to remove the bullets. At one point, Zach wakes up and starts freaking out, bring about William to punch him and knock him out. When Cam tries to remove the bullet from Zach's spleen, it breaks and has to be pinched down with Cam's hair clip. They manage to keep the bleeding under control from there. While video chat cut out by low battery. Monroe gets in touch with Colin, who tells him that the video feed cut out just as Zach's spleen cracked. Thinking this means Zach is dead, Monroe gives instructions the other officers to get into sniper position and wait for the ambulance to pass. However, Cam manages to get in contact with Clark, telling him that Zach is still alive. Cam realizes the snipers and warns William and Daniel, and even though the ambulance takes a few hits, they are able to outrun it and cause other cop cars to crash with their plans. After Daniel says they don't need Cam anymore and he attempts to shoot her, William tries to keep Daniel calm by playing music, but it doesn't work. Cam also hears that William is a veteran and is married with a child when Amy calls and video chats with him, thinking that he got the job he pretended to be interviewing for. The guys drive the ambulance down to the Los Angeles River where Daniel starts shooting at a chopper before William drives them further. They make it to their destination where Castro begins to spray paint the ambulance, and Monroe and his team are preparing to take them on. Poppy's son Roberto sends another ambulance full of explosives down there, blowing up other cops. The criminals retaliate by sending the machine gun car into the police crowd, firing upon all of them and killing Monroe. Mark sees Roberto and chases him, and after a struggle, he grounds Roberto to shoot himself in the head, which Poppy sees on the news. William and Daniel arrive at Poppy's place with the ambulance to deliver his cut of the money. Poppy is outraged at his son's death and wants more payback from the guys. He remits the brothers to leave Cam and Zach with them. Instead, William and Daniel work together and kill Poppy and his guys. Meanwhile, Zach gives Cam his gun just in case. William runs to the ambulance, and in a panic, Cam accidentally shoots William. Daniel finds William shot and thinks it was another gangster. Daniel takes the ambulance on the way to a hospital. William gives Cam some money for Amy's treatment. While in hospital entrance, they are surrounded by cops. Clark attempts to contact Daniel and get him to surrender or he will be shot. Daniel finds out that Cam shot William and attempts to bring her out at gunpoint, knowing he is going to die anyway and plans to take her with him. Just as he steps out with Cam, a gunshot rings out. Daniel has been shot over the back by William. William is pulled out of the ambulance and lays next to Daniel, who tells him he is sorry before he dies. Amy arrives on the spot and becomes hysterical when she sees William. In spite of Cam being held back, she does what she can to help William survive. She speaks to Amy and discreetly leaves some of the heist money in the baby's car seat, as William had earlier asked Cam to leave some for her. William is taken into custody and monitored at the hospital. Amy sees him from the window with their baby, and William be able to wave at them. Another officer takes Zach's statement and asks who shot him. He points to William and says that he saved his life. Cam then goes to Lindsay's room and holds her hand as she wakes up. She later leaves the hospital as it becomes darkened. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel, like and share this video and hit your comments.